Hi guys.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Welcome to our channel. I'm so glad if you can make it here. Now I'm already messing it up. See, Misty, we can mess it up.
We make the rules.
Yes, we make the rules. So we are live. I want to introduce you. Everybody knows Misty, I'm sure. And this is Davidson from ShugarJunki. So welcome to our special guest today. We're so glad you're here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to just introduce yourself, Dave, first. To everybody who doesn't know you, just tell us a bit about yourself.
Sure. My name's Davidson. People probably know me as ShugarJunki if you have seen any of my stuff before. I haven't been doing this for a very long time. I'm actually probably about 3 months now. I had the idea a few years ago, actually maybe like 5 years ago. I had been coming off like some really bad binging. I'm a lifelong sugar addict. I've struggled with it on and off my whole life. As a young kid and a young adult, it wasn't such a big deal because I was active in sports and I could kind of exercise my way out of anything that I ate. But as I got older, I found out that I couldn't do that, and it became much more of a struggle. So a few years back, I thought I should chronicle, how to get back in shape and lose this weight and what I need to do to get back to where I was on YouTube, but I didn't really know anything about it and I wasn't ready. So I just kind of put it on the shelf. Anyways, I was very fit for a long time. I've been working out, lifting weights pretty much my whole life. And then a couple of years ago, I fell back into old habits and really got self-destructive, gained about 70 pounds total maybe. And it's been, especially this pandemic year, was quite rough. Finally got myself back together and figured out what I needed to do, decided to chronicle it on YouTube, and I've been doing that ever since. And I've met a lot of wonderful, supportive friends through the weight loss and fitness community. It just seems like everyone that I've talked to is just so nice and helpful and supportive. There's not really any kind of competitiveness or anything like that. It's just really, really nice. As actually, you guys just did a video about supportive fitness and super fit people and healthy people and all those YouTubers. And it's been unbelievable. Like, you guys have helped me so much. And there's so many other people who've kind of inspired me and made things easier for me.
Oh, thank you. And now, Misty, your turn. Introduce yourself, please.
Yeah. Howdy, everybody. It's your pal, Misty. We're doing a live today. So, yeah, talking about sugar, I've not been fit my whole life. I've never really been fit. I've always been big. I started during the ketogenic diet in February the 2nd of 2020 because I like numbers, as we've talked about. So it's been 14 months and I'm down over 80 pounds. I had tried all types of different diets and in none of them were the carbs eliminated. So everyone who knows me knows if you want to give me a whole loaf of garlic bread, I'm probably going to eat it for you. And that's one thing. Sometimes the hardest thing for you to give up is probably the thing that you should. And for me, it was carbs. And so far, it's been working very well for me. And now we're jumping into the fitness because of people like G and Nicky who introduced me to the fitness community. And I made a video about how y'all accidentally tricked me into fitness. And I'm really glad to be here. So I'm excited to be on this live today. Thanks, G and Nicky, for having me.
Oh, we're so glad to have you. I just want to quickly say hi to everybody that joined us. Hi, Carolyn, Laura, Jessica, Bella, you're here. Mitch and Corlin, who's that's here? I'm going to rumble. Sorry, I just want to see quickly. Is there? And hi, Misty's mom.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't know. That was my mom,
Natasha is there. Sarah, I don't know how to pronounce her name. But welcome, everybody. And also, if you're on the replay, gang, and you're watching this afterwards, thank you for watching. I think you're going to get some great advice today.
Definitely.
Because we really, really got some great advice through Misty and through Dave. We learned so much, and we're going to talk about how we mess up and how we do it again. And yes.
Yeah, I have to say, Davidson's channel, when the first time I saw one of his videos, it was like, wow, something
That's
open.
me.
That is me. I am addicted to sugar, and I've never really thought about it. And everything that he said made sense. So
Yes.
please go check his videos. It really helps
Yeah,
a lot.
there's actually something I wrote down here. Okay, it's something that got me. He said no cheat days.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do. Because you don't tell an alcoholic to have a beer. And that really, really got to me because we had cheat days. And as you all know, it turned into cheat weekends. And then it just, poof. As soon as we have that chocolate, we eat another and chips. And my problem is chips. Crisps. I think you call it crisps. And that really got to me, and that got me thinking, I'm going to do this. We can do this. And we did it for 5 days, and we messed up last night. We had an Easter egg. We kept that Easter egg from Easter. We didn't have it. It was in the cupboard, and last night we had this big Easter egg. And I thought, now we have to start all over again. But we're going to. We're going to start because we want to do that 21 days.
Yeah.
So we are going to do it.
So basically my idea is that everyone has a certain set point. It's roughly around 21. It might be a little bit shorter for some people. It might be a little bit longer. And this really only applies if you are a carb or sugar addict. Normal people, or whatever you want to call normal, can actually have cheat days, and they can moderate. You know how everyone says the most common thing I've always heard my whole life, everything in moderation. I don't have that ability.
Yeah.
I am on or off. Like as soon as I start, you give me one cookie and you will find me 3 months later in the gutter with, chocolate cake residue all over me, not knowing how I got there. That's kind of how it works for me. But if I stay off it for about 3 weeks, there is like a switch that flips in my head, and I suddenly go from just constantly craving this stuff controlling my brain and controlling my life, to me thinking about it very little. So I like to say those cravings that kind of grip me go away. The temptation is always there because obviously I wouldn't eat that stuff if I wasn't, my brain wasn't crazy for it. So when I see a commercial with food on it late at night, or I'm out with family and someone orders some, something really carb heavy or sweet or delicious, I'm like, yeah, that looks great. But I would call that a temptation. I wouldn't call that a craving. I'm not sitting up at night saying, oh, I got to eat something. I got to put some carbs in my belly, So there's a certain set point for, I feel like, people who are addicted to sugar, whether that's 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. 21 days is probably for most people. By that point, your cravings will go away. But there's just something in us. It could be, I don't know whether or not that's fully chemical or it's mental. It's probably a combination of the two. But I imagine some of it is getting rid of those withdrawals, because for us, sugar is basically like a drug.
Yeah.
It is.
I want to hear from Misty. I know you've been a year on keto now. And as I understand, keto is no carbs and no sugar, or low carbs and low sugar. I'm new to that. So how did you do that? And how long did it take you to get over it?
So with the ketogenic diet, everybody does it different. The main thing that people say about it is it's a high fat, moderate protein, low carb for your macros. I already have a lot of fat, so I don't need a lot of extra in the diet. So mine is a little bit more protein than fat right now. I'm sure as I continue to drop weight, that ratio may change a little bit. There are people who are what they call very clean keto, where they don't have a lot of the treats. They don't have like my low carb tortillas to make a taco that I love, right? Some people have to stay very clean to stick to it. So my goal every day is just to stay below 20 net carbs. And just to explain that really quickly, when you look at carbs, you have fiber, and you have sugar. So you're looking at whatever the total carbs are minus the fiber is what we call a net carb. And I try to keep that number under 20 grams a day. And that's how I started. That's how I track it. You'll hear this on the internet called lazy keto, because you're not tracking every macro. Because I did that for a while, and I measured all my food and I put everything into an app, and boy, did I get overwhelmed and stressed and just wanted to quit. So then I started reading ingredients, reading labels, staying under that 20 grams net carbs in my head, and then the weight just started to come off. So
we haven't read labels until recently, and I was so shocked to see there's sugar in absolutely everything, sugar and carbs, because we're new to this. We are just going on as we just thought, oh, we're going to be mindful of what we eat, and we're going to eat less, and we're going to cut this out, and we're going to exercise, and that worked for us in the first 3 months.
Yeah.
But then we ate, we thought, oh wow, we're exercising now, so eat that extra pack of chips, and we actually picked up weight.
Yeah, we
so
exercised more so that we could eat chips.
Yes, we did that. We walked around the block 3 times instead of once just to have a chocolate. Or we worked out for half an hour in the morning just to have a glass of Coke. Luckily, we got used to the Diet Coke very quickly. But we fooled ourselves like that, and that was the same with the cheat days. There's an evil shop right around the corner from us, and they're extremely, extremely cheap. They sell things that's almost out of date, and then they sell a whole box of chips for €5 or a whole box of chocolates. Then we bought that, and we thought, no, we'll keep it in the cupboard. We'll eat one every once in a while, and then we ate the whole box.
Yeah.
So then we knew we had a problem.
Oh, that's sorry. Cigarettes. It was so. When you quit smoking, you get patches. You put out.
Yeah.
When you stop eating sugar, there's no patches for that. You still need to eat, and that is so difficult.
That's hard. I just quickly, before we go back in topic, want to say thanks to Jordan that's here. She agreed to be our moderator. And Jordan, we are not getting to comments, and we're going to ask you if you can put everybody's link in. I don't know if you can do that, but if you can, we would appreciate that. And if you guys want to connect with each other, and I'm sure we're a great community here. So if you can do that, please. I'm not sure if you can. All right. Now we're going to give you guys a chance to talk, because I'll talk forever.
Well, to your point about cigarettes versus food, it's a really good one. Cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, you sort of have to actively seek those out if you want them. So once you're off of that stuff, you have to work to get to them. Food, you don't have to work to get to. It's everywhere. You have, you go out with friends, you go out with family, you have people in your household. Luckily, you guys are doing this together, which is fantastic. It's the best way to do things, because now your whole household is on board. It's much, much smarter way to do it. But, you turn on the TV, you watch a commercial, food. It's everywhere in our lives. And they're constantly kind of like this. It's all delivered right to you. It's right there. You have to constantly say no every minute of your life. And you might have family members, you go out, and if you say, hey, no, I don't want any of that, you're the bad guy almost. You know what I mean? It's like they're looking at you funny, like, what? My mom is my favorite example. My mom's a total sweetheart, but she kind of gets it now, but I've been doing it my whole life. I'll say, Mom, I don't want to eat. Like, she'll bake a pie or something and be like, I can't eat that, Mom. I'm sorry. But, and she'll be like, why? What's wrong? Like, she'll take it as a personal affront. You know what I mean? So you're constantly dealing with that stuff. It's much different. I'd say it's the hardest thing to actually kick, because it's just always in your face. So that makes it a lot tougher. And sorry, I just want to say one more thing about Diet Pop. Diet Pop is, in my opinion, a good choice. I don't drink coffee. I actually have a bad habit of drinking a sugar-free energy drink every day. Horrible. Now, I'm not saying it's good for you. Yeah, there you go. See? We're kindred spirits. But I would say, don't drink your calories. It's not a great plan. Water is the best, but I'm trying to be realistic here. Everyone needs caffeine. I can't kick all of these things at the same time. And as a dentist, I just have to say, pop will just decimate your teeth. It'll decimate it. I see it all the time where, I can't keep up with the decay when people drink pop. It's acidic, and it's loaded with sugar, and energy drinks, if they're not sugar-free, are also. Okay, that's my public service announcement as a dentist. I'll take it. Okay, rub it off now.
We all love a good PSA. Yeah. So, and I'll be honest, to what y'all were talking about with cheat meals, or what I call free meals.
Mhm.
And I know a lot of people really struggle with that. Once you start, you can't stop.
Yes.
I've never really had that personality.
You're so
No,
lucky.
My
you're
problem
lucky.
is just that I never stopped. Because I can be very strict. I can be very restrictive. I've done, for those of you who follow my channel, I've done a 30-day juice fast in the past where I literally didn't eat for 30 days. All I had was juice that I made. And that was one of the easiest things I've ever done because I just drank. But something that's a little bit weird or different about me is I binge watched the Food Channel because I
Okay.
wanted to see the food. I wanted to smell the food. People would like have fried chicken, and I'm like, can I just like smell it? I just wanted a whiff of it. And for me, that was enough. But if you give me a loaf of bread, I'm going to want to eat it. So it's just getting that mindset of, for some people, they can't have it at all, or it will trip that and trigger that. And it's just finding that point where you know that happens. And so if you have to stay away, and I would suggest if you do try to go with no sugar, to wait at least a month before you have any type of free or cheat meal to really get your body adapted into that. Because as y'all are finding this week, Gerhard and Nicky, y'all are tired, a little bit more tired than normal. And
Yes.
that's coming off of that sugar. As your body changes its energy source, you can be tired. So you just have to find that point of, you know, what's sustainable for you. And sometimes I'm going to want food that has carbs in it, but I have to know that that's going to be the only food that I have with that, and then move right back into how I used to eat.
Well, ShugarJunki has got a challenge that he's put out there to quit sugar cold turkey for 21 days. Am I right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what we are trying to do now. Like I said, we got to 5 days. Then we messed up. But also, again, today we messed up again. And then we told ourselves, oh, it's okay. We'll start again tomorrow. And that is what I want to get out of our head. We should have started today again when we messed up, not...
Yeah, but now Nikki's birthday is on the 24th.
It's
and
next
we
week, Saturday.
know we are going to
Eat a piece of cake. And so it's hard. But then we'll just start again. But no, we are going to try and do this for 21 days. And I told him, let's see on my birthday what happens. I'm not going to promise myself I'm not going to have a piece of cake or we're going to have something nice, but we see how it goes. Who knows? Maybe we're strong enough. But if we mess up, then we have to start our 21 days again. So I don't know if it's ever going to end. We're going to be on this 21 day thing forever.
That is absolutely okay. That's great. So like we were talking a little bit in the pre-chat there, the main thing is, because I mean, I think you guys are kind of like me from what we were talking about. Don't beat yourself up for it. Don't be like, oh, I've ruined it. Or, you know, you don't even have to say, hey, I'm going to eat bad until my birthday because I know I'm going to mess up on my birthday or enjoy myself. Just go ahead, enjoy your birthday. But until then, just, you know, don't feel like you failed or lost, because I always would do that. By the way, when I started this, it wasn't just like, hey, I'm going to start this and I cut sugar and that was that. It took me about 7 tries to get it right. In fact, if you watch my first 2 videos, they're horrible. My first 2 videos are before I started, because I was like, I'm going to start right now, and then tomorrow I'm going to be on track. Didn't happen after the first video. And then my second one was my first day of doing it, and I caught on. But way before that, I had tried to get started a bunch of times, and I failed miserably. But again, that's okay. For me, if I say, hey, I blew it, I'll start tomorrow, that turns into 3 weeks or 4 weeks or a month of that. Suddenly I'm 20 pounds heavier. And I'm like, how did I get here? I didn't have to get there. It's what I call my lizard brain telling me, you failed, you're a failure, you may as well enjoy yourself. And it's never enjoying. It's the 1 minute that I'm stuffing my face is enjoyable. And the rest of it is just regret and guilt and shaming myself and, you know, just eating myself into oblivion, basically.
Yeah, that is so
That is
good.
us, yes.
That's what happened with us. Because we always said, okay, no, Monday. You'll start on Monday. And then Monday comes, then it's, no, you'll start in the new month. And, okay.
Right.
Then you never start. And
I just want to say one thing that Misty talked about now is the energy levels. When we stopped,
yes.
we were so tired. Okay, we slept easily every night.
Sleep was so much easier.
We had no energy when we rode on the bikes. It was terrible. I had no energy whatsoever.
Yeah, we drink energy drinks too, and we also got them at the Evil shop. We got a whole case of them, but unfortunately they are not sugar-free. We used to get sugar-free ones there, and this one is low sugar, but because we quit the sugar, we didn't want to drink any of that, and we felt it. Last night after that Easter egg, we were both buzzing there in bed. We were sitting there that we didn't know what to do with ourselves. It was terrible. I didn't like the feeling.
I didn't like it either.
It felt like...
Make sure you get electrolytes. So if you add salt to your water, if you have any type of sports energy electrolyte drink, that's also very important because you'll lose a lot of your salt through bodily functions as you first start. So make sure you keep those levels up as well. That's a really good tip. People get headaches, and a lot of times because they're low on their electrolytes as well. At least that's what I found in my case.
You know what we found as well, and I know this is a bit oversharing, our breaths. It stinks.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it's because we're detoxing or what's going on, but it was terrible last week. It's like, oh, don't speak to me in the morning. And not one of us have that problem. We've never had that problem. And it's terrible. I had to tell him, listen, don't you want to go brush your teeth or something?
You were probably in ketosis. Your breath actually emits acetone. When you reach ketosis, then that's the sign that you're there. And that's the point where you really want to maintain, because getting to that where you have that horrible breath is the hardest part. Once you're there, if you can keep it going for a little while, it'll get easier.
Okay.
Put my dentist hat back on for a second. How do you combat that? Make sure you're flossing twice a day, because that's where most of that gets trapped, and you brush your tongue. If you do that, and obviously brush, but if you're flossing and you're brushing your tongue, that should take care of most of that.
Okay. There's something else that, the Discord, before I forget, guys, all of you, go and check ShugarJunki's Discord group. We were speaking about this the other day. Alcoholics have got AA. They have support groups. They can go to a group and they can say, hi, I'm an alcoholic, or hi, I'm this and this. I don't know of any, hi, I'm a foodaholic or a sugar addict or groups like that, but this Discord group is the closest thing you're going to get to that. We did leave it in our description. It's a bunch of nice people that helps each other. We've been in there a day and it's already helped us. So that's nice.
Yeah, please go check it out.
So go check that out.
Thank you. The most amazing part of that is that every single person that's in there has a story that I'm like, wow, that's totally me. You're never really alone. You think you've done crazy stuff, when it comes to your addiction, that no one else does or no one else would get. But these people, it's like you just find these kindred spirits that have all been through the same thing. And you just wonder how long you've kept that in and been like, is there something wrong with me? I mean, technically, maybe there is something wrong with us, but at least we're all wrong together and we can kind of sort that out. It's very nice.
Yeah.
And this community, everybody. Sorry, guys, everybody in the comment section. We so into this chat. We'll have to go watch the replay to see all of the comments. I'm missing everybody's comments today. But we're so happy you're here and thank you for the support. We appreciate you. But I got a list of how to start. This is all Davidson made us do this now. One of the things that said how to start, it's 8 points. I'm quickly going to go through them and I want to hear your opinion on that. The first one, it says, make the decision. Okay, then the next one, it says quit cold turkey. Don't start tomorrow, whenever, just quit. And then what you also said, don't drink your calories. That's a big thing. We used to do that with coffee. We drink 3 sugar in our coffee each. That's a lot. Yeah. And then we drink 4 cups of coffee a day. That's a lot of sugar. So we quit that too. We're drinking...
sugar
the tablets you put in. I heard that's not good for you, but we can't drink bitter coffee.
I don't know if
disgusting.
It's better than sugar, but...
And then add protein to every meal. I don't know if that says it helps with the cravings. Eat the right carbs for at least 10 days. Manage your stress. quit gluten and dairy for 10 days, and then you need to sleep at least 8 hours. So I don't know what your thoughts on those points. Is it all right, good, bad?
Well, I love the sleeping 8 hours is maybe the most important thing on the list. The two things that I say, like there's for that first month, you don't really want to be doing a lot except for focusing on severing that link from sugar and getting right. And the best way to get right is to get a good solid 8 hours sleep. I'll plug a book. It's called Why We Sleep. I don't know the author's name, but it's an incredible book. It'll scare you into trying to get 8 hours of sleep. I'm naturally a nighthawk. And since I read that book, with the exception of last night, because my son, my little 5-year-old had an accident, we were up half the night. But normally lately I've been getting 8 hours sleep and it makes a massive difference. It's hard to do, but you want to make your body ready for this, right? It's a hard thing to do, to cut sugar. That's really tough. So if you're well rested and you're well hydrated, it makes your job easier. It's like an easier fight for you. If you're not sleeping and you're dehydrated, it's just going to be harder. You're putting yourself at a disadvantage to do it. So sleep is everything, and hydration is everything. They're very important. The other stuff is okay, and you have to be in the right mindset. The other thing I would add is if you have something that you would want to binge on, get it out of your house. Like go through your house and clean that stuff out before you start, because if not, you're going to have one weak night. If you're anything like me, you're going to have one bad night and you're going to be like, oh, I wonder what's in the cupboard, and it'll be gone.
That's how we found the Easter egg.
Yes.
That's right.
It was a huge one.
I couldn't really miss it.
Yeah, no, I think mindset is a big thing. I've been working on sleep myself because I do not like to go to bed in the same day I woke up, which normally leaves me up after midnight. And yeah, work starts at sometimes 7 or 8 in the morning. So I've been working on going to bed earlier myself. As far as just start, for me, that's a yes and a no. I didn't just start, but I picked a date. And I said on that date I would start, absolutely, no questions asked. Had a pizza the day before, but that's what my brain did. And then on that day I started, and then I was able to stick to it. As far as me is where I am in my journey for protein does keep me full longer. Okay. So I do pretty much have protein with, I can't think of a meal that I don't have protein with. Even if it's eggs, that's a protein source. So I have protein with pretty much everything. I'm trying to remember all your points, Nikki. You just read a whole bunch of things. I need to take notes.
Don't drink your calories. I think all of us.
I could drink a whole 2-liter Dr. Pepper back in the day. I'm not going to lie. I drank 10 times more than I ever ate. That's why the juice diet was so easy for me, because I could just drink it all. I have to be careful with that.
With the juice diet. My problem with protein shakes, juice diets, everything, in my mind, I need to choose something. So I've tried that before, and then I picked up weight. So I drink the protein shake or the meal replacement or the smoothie or whatever, and then I'm full. But my mind tells me I need to eat something, then I eat something too. And then I feel uncomfortable and like I ate too much. But I still did it because I need to choose something. I don't know. So that doesn't work for me. It's a weird mindset for me.
Yeah, what I would do is oftentimes I would freeze it, and so you would actually be eating it, because it is sort of like when I know I've heard a lot of people who quit smoking say it's really the hand to mouth. Yeah. That's the addiction part of it as well. That goes with eating, and the chewing is part of what you're doing as well. That for me wasn't a problem, because drinking is, if I could drink all my food, I would, but that's not healthy or sustainable for me. So I do eat, obviously, but yeah, it's that addiction part of you need to chew something.
I tried that with Chappies, gum. This gum worked when we quit smoking. I still can't believe we quit smoking, but we can't stop eating. It's the most ridiculous thing. I would never thought I would be saying this, but gum helped for the smoking. But now if I chew gum, then I get hungry. So that doesn't work for me at all. So
Because we smoked for a long time. I mean, I smoked for over 20 years. We smoked for a long time. And
But that's when we started picking up this much weight.
Yes.
We weren't this much overweight, then we quit smoking. And then we started eating and snacking. We're not eating a lot. I'm going to be honest with you. We don't eat big plates of food. We snack. That's our big problem. We lie in bed in the evenings and we eat. That's where it all started, eating at night.
yeah, watching a movie and eating. Yeah.
And we weren't active. We didn't go out at all. We were weekends. From Friday night till Sunday night, we watched Netflix. I always blame Netflix and Pringles for our weight pickup. But that was snacking. It's not food. I don't have a problem with food. I can quit food, but I can't.
But
quit
that's
snacks.
why when I saw ShugarJunki's videos, it's like it clicked. It's not food. It's sugar. It's
Yes.
the sugar is my addiction. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. It's scary. It's not nice. It actually feels embarrassing to say this out loud, but I think that's the first step of healing, can I say, is admitting we've got a problem. And we know we do.
I don't think that's embarrassing at all. I think that's a great realization to come to. It's hard. Some people take their whole lives and don't figure that out. I mean, it took me 40 years, you know. It's not an easy thing. First of all, no one wants to say, I'm addicted to sugar and carbs and therefore I can't eat them anymore. That's not the easy way out. That's like the one thing as addicts, of course we don't want to give that up. So to come to that realization, like your subconscious is telling you, no, it's fine. Keep pumping those carbs in. So we don't really want to come to that conclusion, but when you do, it's a big deal, I think. One thing I want to say, you guys might think this is crazy. One of the best pieces of advice I ever got, I got this like 10 years ago, is don't have a TV in your room. Because if you have a TV in your bedroom, you will stay up later. You're more likely to eat. There's like a whole bunch of bad things with having a TV in your room. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll try it. And I took it out and I never looked back. And you will sleep better for sure. Your room should be a boring place with a bed, in my opinion. Anyway.
That makes sense as well. Yeah.
I had one of my friends ask me why I don't start my vlogs in bed like a lot of people do. And that's because my phone isn't even allowed upstairs. I don't have a clock. No. I don't have a TV. My phone doesn't go upstairs. It is dark. It is quiet. That is where I rest. That I have adapted, and that has been very helpful.
Brilliant.
And that's why you go to bed in the midnight hours, Misty.
Well, I didn't say I was good at it. I'm still not good at getting up there to go to bed. Closing my eyes.
But imagine how late she'd go to bed if she didn't do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, it's bad because I've got my phone, I've got my tablet, we've got the TV. He's on his phone. It's a nightmare in our room. That's supposed to be our resting place, but it's a thick. I don't know what to call it. Everything is there. Yes.
Yeah, we should change that.
And then we eat. We've got a cupboard in our room. Okay, we had a cupboard in our room with stuff to eat in. So you didn't even have to go far. You just open the cupboard and then you've got something to eat.
You didn't have to go downstairs to find something. It's in the room. Yeah.
And we are bad. Everybody always says we motivate each other, but we are the opposite of that too.
Yeah.
We encourage each other to eat. He would say, oh, he's in the mood for something. And it's so bad, we actually even got dressed. We were in our pajamas in bed, and then we got up, got dressed. There's a shop right next door to our house, so that's not good. To go and buy a pack of chips. That's,
You enable. Yeah, I don't have to have anybody here to enable me because it's just me. So I'm lucky in that regard. There's nobody here to tempt me but me. I bring my own food into the house. So luckily I don't have that problem. But yeah, I'm sure that's a struggle. And I see a lot of people, who have to, or they're on the journey all by themselves in a relationship with someone who isn't, right? Or who doesn't understand, or like you were saying, David, your mom is like, but have the pie, I made it, delicious, right? And it's because they're not there yet, or they may not need to have that mindset that we have in order to do it. So, you have to keep that in mind as well.
Totally agree.
The amount of weight you lost, all the hard work, we saw the harder we work, the less we want to eat. I know it sounds strange, but it's so much. we try to put the perspective together, like cycling 10 kilometers is only equivalent to one small pack of chips. Then you think, oh my gosh, you just cycled 10 kilometers. It was hard. Now you eat one pack of chips and all those calories you burned is... So we try to do that, and that actually works, because we walk 10,000 steps. It's hard to walk 10,000 steps every day. If you don't start early, and now you eat one chocolate and all the calories that you've put all that hard work in is done. Okay, it doesn't always work, but we try to do that.
Yeah.
And often now we're working out.
Yeah, it's a lot about the food that you put in. Even people who are, bodybuilders and things, they'll tell you it's more what you eat than the work you put into it a lot of times. But yeah, I found out, y'all know I just started the fitness because y'all tricked me into it, but I've been hungry, and that's been something in my brain. I'm like, is this okay that I'm a little bit hungrier? Why am I a little bit hungrier? Do I feel justified in eating more? I mean, I'm still eating the same foods, but that has been something that I've been thinking over the last week is I'm hungrier. Why? And what do I eat to compensate for that? Because, you don't want the sugar in there. So do I eat more protein? Do I eat more fat? What's going to sustain it and make me feel better? But yeah, working out has added to my hunger. And then y'all had posted something about you need energy to work out. Well, you need food for energy. So you have to eat to get the energy to do the workout. It's this cycle of, just being cognizant of where you started, which is with what food choices you make to do it.
You absolutely.
Sorry, I couldn't get G to eat fruit. He doesn't like fruit. And then I started cutting up apples, and I put a scoop of peanut butter with it, and I throw some cinnamon over it, and now he loves it.
I love it.
So we try to replace snacks that we like with better snacks, and chips with popcorn and things like that. But even that's again the addiction. You eat a few handfuls of popcorn and you think, oh, it's okay, I'll eat the chips now. So that doesn't work for us. It works for a lot of people. I know it works for a lot of people, but I know the fruit, that works. So we try to do that now.
Yeah, I have to be careful with fruit because fruit has a lot of carbs in it. So, and berries are not my favorite. Like I was just saying the other day, melons, I love a melon. I can't eat them because I could eat the whole melon, and it's just not worth it. It doesn't make me feel good after anymore. Back in the day, I thought it made me feel great because I didn't know what it felt like to not have the sugar in my system. And once you know what that feels like, when you go back, it's a big difference, and it kind of makes you want to sustain it. And one thing that you'll hear is, especially with the keto diet, a lot of people, it's like, it's a fad. They hate it. They don't agree with it. You're going to have to do it forever. And the thing is, I want to do it forever. It's not that I have to. I feel like I want to because it feels so much better.
I like to tell people, like, I had a bit of a, maybe if you guys saw my most recent video there, but I had like a really big YouTuber come in and comment on my channel, which is really random. He's like 220,000 subscribers. He's a cyclist. And he came in and he said, one of his comments, I didn't address this in my video because I wanted to keep it positive, but he said, keto is for noobs. And he said in his post that he eats 700 grams of sugar a day, which is like at 4 calories a gram, that'd be like 2,800 calories of sugar. That's more than I eat in a day calorie wise anyway, but which is fine for him because he's a cyclist. He's probably burning 3,000 to 5,000 calories a day. Fantastic. Right. So with keto, I tell people I'm not married to keto. Well, I personally am, like, I'm going to use keto because it works for me as a sugar and a carb addict, right? It allows me some kind of way to eat and to live my life without going towards carbs, which absolutely wreck me. Like, I can't handle them. I'm just not responsible enough, or my brain isn't wired right to handle carbs. But that doesn't mean that other stuff doesn't work great for other people. Like I always tell people, I'm like, this is probably not for everybody, but for me, it's what works. As a sugar addict, it's perfect.
Yeah, you've got that quiz on your channel.
Yes, I've actually got notes here. That's when we realized we are sugar addicts. Guys, go check out that video. Are you a sugar addict? And that made us like, moment.
Yeah, that's a video you have to
Yes,
see. It
I
is,
actually wrote all of that down, but I think it's better to go and watch the video yourself and just answer that. But one of the things in there that it's point number one is, have you ever lied to friends and family and avoided them to stay home and eat? And I thought, yes, we have. And you're ashamed about it. And I think, yes. And all of those questions you asked, I said yes, except for taking things out of the garbage.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one we didn't do, but only because it never makes it to the garbage. That's the only reason. That was also one of the things. Question. It was, have you ever thrown out perfectly good food in the garbage? So that you don't eat it, and then the question after that, have you ever taken it out again to eat it? And then I thought, well,
Guilty.
I would do that, but it never makes it to the garbage.
Yeah, we've never thrown it away.
No, we eat it because we're going to start over tomorrow. We're going to start over, so now we need to eat everything in our house. And then we eat ourselves until we're sick. Okay, it's not that bad.
Yeah,
but we do. We eat
there was
everything.
a stage. It's better now. It's a lot better now. But before we started this weight loss journey, it was bad. There was a stage where it was really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of the most interesting things that I found when I cut out the sugar was that I didn't think about food as much. I used to think about food all the time. What was I going to have for lunch? What was I going to have for dinner? What snack could I have? What chips was I going to eat? And then I cut out the sugar, and now I'm like, oh man, I got to eat. Like I forget sometimes, and it's just not that. It's not that forefront in my mind. Of course,
it doesn't take over your life.
It was at first, but like 6-7 months in, I'm like, I started intermittent fasting because I never needed breakfast. And I don't think about food that often anymore. So that's been another unintentional benefit for me, at least. So I don't know if anybody else sees that or feels that, but it's kind of nice to not.
How good does that feel? Like, yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? That's what I tell people. I say, if you can get past like those first 3-4 weeks, whatever it is for you, are so difficult. It's like torture because you're fighting your addiction. But then it's like you have a superpower almost. It's amazing. Yeah. I'm like two different people. It's amazing.
Yeah. It is a great get to that point. I would love to get there because I was so proud of our 5 days. And guys, I can't tell you how disappointed I was last night after we ate that Easter egg. It was a bit. We didn't have one each. We shared it.
Yeah, we shared one.
But I scanned it into the MyFitnessPal. Because we had calories left to eat. That's one of our things we do wrong as well. We do calorie counting and it goes good. But now we go to bed, then we've got 600 calories left. Then we convince ourselves it's fine. That Easter egg had 400 calories in. But it's fine. We've still got 600 left. So we go to bed and we've still got 200 in the bank. And that's not working. Don't do that.
You guys are just like I'm the same.
It's scary.
It's funny how your brain works, eh?
It is, yes. I told him, that wasn't even nice, and I still took the last bite.
Yeah, we ate everything.
We ate the whole thing, and
halfway through, I thought, no, I don't like the buzz I'm getting now. It's hyper, but I still ate it. I finished it. I couldn't throw it away.
Yeah, that's scary, and it's not nice to do that. So we should not keep those stuff in the house at all.
I mean, and it still happens. Sometimes I have actual candy or an actual soda, and then I'm like, why did I do that? I don't even feel. I took the day off, and I'm going to feel great. I'm going to have this Dr. Pepper with a McDonald's meal, and then I eat it, and the day is miserable. And I'm like, why do I keep doing that? I think it's going to be so fun, and then it's just not. But at night, a big tip too: drink water, because a lot of times you think you're hungry and you're just dehydrated. Drink water. Try that too. If you ever think you want a snack, try to drink some water, wait 30 minutes, and then see how you feel.
Listen to me.
Drink water, G. You can do it.
I don't have a problem with water. I drink about 3 liters of water a day. I love water, but to get him to drink water,
I just forget. She brings water, and I drink it if she brings it to me. But
no, I need to tell him, why is that glass not empty yet? Take a sip. And then he looks at me and rolls his eyes, and it's a whole big drama for him to drink that glass of water, but he does it now.
Put it in a Tropica bottle.
We
Yeah.
don't get Tropica here, so we need to get a bottle first.
I have a question, Misty, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So you said you've had occasions where you'll eat some candy or you'll have a bad day. How do you, after that happens to you, do you feel, because for me, I feel completely derailed and it's like I'm starting from square one, like it really messes with me. So I have to be really careful and like I'm always nervous about slipping. Once that happens, how hard is it for you the next day or the following days to get back on track?
To be really honest, and it's my brain just goes, oh, you got to go back. You felt like you felt when you were 330 pounds. You were miserable. Just go back right after that. Sometimes I'll plan on cheating the whole day, and then I'll just have that one meal, and then I'll be like, oh, I can't. I just
good for you.
Miserable. That's super lucky. I know that doesn't work for everybody.
Well, that's great.
I'm one of those people where food, it was never a lot. Literally 10 times my calories was from the sodas that I drank. I drank juice, sodas. I drank all my calories. Just cutting that out, I'm sure I could have dropped a lot of the weight, but just taking the sugar out makes me feel so much better that I'm ready to start it. I need to get back to it. And yet I still also mentally feel every once in a while like I want some rice. Like I had a sushi burrito for my last free meal. Most people think of a free meal as a whole pizza, but I'm just eating a little bit of rice with some fish. You know, it's like, and it's those mindset changes that have helped me, at least. Everybody's different. It doesn't work for everybody. A lot of people struggle once they jump off. And I think a lot of people, I'm one of those people where people, when they gain weight, are like, oh man, I might as well have, this now. I'm not like that. When I gain weight, I'm like, oh man, let's stick to it. We got to do better. But when I lose weight, I'm like, oh, now I can have. And time
to party.
Why? Why?
Yeah. That's what I want to do.
With food, Misty, what are you doing, right? So yeah, you just have to keep a constant mental check on what you're doing and what you're telling yourself. And for me, I have to jump right back in. And I find that to be the easiest thing to do. Now, again, a year into it.
I let it fail.
Not as easy. I went ghost for about 4 months in the beginning of the journey where I didn't post and I only lost like 10 pounds in those 4 months for some reason, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I was still pretty good, but I was having a free or cheat meal like once a week.
Right.
I did good 5-6 days a week. Let me have whatever I want. And then I feel miserable. And then I'm like, okay, start again. And then it got longer and longer in between to where now I know, like I said, it's a fad for some, but for me, this is just the way I'm going to eat for the rest of my life.
Wow. Good for you. That's amazing. That's awesome.
That is
amazing. Yes.
It only took 45 years, everybody. It only took 45 years.
Doesn't matter. Your 45 best ones are ahead of you still now.
That's absolutely right. That's right.
It's my 41st birthday next week, Saturday, and I wanted to be under 100 kilograms. I'm not sure how much pounds that is now, but that was my big thing. I wanted to be under 100 kilograms by my birthday, and I'm not there. I think I'm at 108 now. And I know it's my own fault. I could have done it, but we messed up. And now I decided I'm not going to let that get me down. I'll get there eventually. Then we'll go to the next, because my goal weight is, I should have actually converted this to pounds beforehand, is 80 kilograms. But my big thing now is to get under 100 kilograms. That's going to be a big mini goal. And then it's 50 pounds that I've lost. I know that part, the pounds part. So then I lost 50 pounds. Then we can go and buy new clothes if the shop's open. And so I look forward to that. And I want to do that. And I won't be able to do that if we don't stop eating. Because then it's never going to happen. Never, ever.
If I were you, I wouldn't tie it to a specific date or put a goal date on it. There's no reason to do that. Just focus on getting yourself right and getting yourself healthy, and you will get there. If it happens slowly, it's almost better because it means that you're doing something that's sustainable. So if you set a date and it doesn't happen, then you're more likely to get up into your head and say, oh, I failed. But there's no reason for that. You've already succeeded. You guys have already set yourself on the right path, and you've come a long way, and you've done a lot to make your lives healthier. So You just have to, like, you know, take solace in the fact that you've had a lot of great victories along the way and you're moving in the right direction, and just keep going at it. You guys will be, you're doing fine. You'll get there.
Yeah, well, like Misty said, cheat day, or we used to call it a reward day. She can eat a little bit of rice and fish. She still eats a healthy meal. We go all aboard. Go all aboard. No, overboard, not all aboard. And then we ate everything we can get that we couldn't have the week. Everything from, because I love candy floss. I love candy floss. Then I would buy a big thing of candy floss and eat the whole thing. And a chocolate. And not even in the mood for it, but tomorrow I can't have it again. So I try to, then I mess up everything we worked so hard for during the week. That's why I know we can't do cheat days. It doesn't work for us.
Yeah, our cheat day started in the morning, and we started buying all the stuff.
No, the Friday night already we went to buy and stock up for everything we can have the cheat day. The struggle is real. We did that. And then we mess up everything, and then we would cry why we don't lose weight. That didn't work for us.
If only you would... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Misty. That's all right.
I was going to say, if only you would prepare for your ever regular day eating like you did for your cheat meals, imagine where you would be.
I know.
A lot of planning going into that.
There was a lot of planning, even a budget.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. I mean, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
But I have a budget
for cheat day.
What is candy floss?
Cotton candy?
Cotton candy, yes.
Oh, I love cotton candy.
I know my junk food.
Throw it down, cotton candy. My mom, that was always the big joke when I was, well, I say younger, you know, in my 30s. My mom would give me cotton candy money because I would always get cotton candy.
Delicious. Yeah. I actually even had a little cotton candy machine, but it didn't work. It just made a big mess.
I hadn't even thought of cotton candy. How funny.
Yeah.
I was going to say my last cheat day turned into a cheat 2 years.
Oh. Yeah,
bad.
You need to stay away.
Yeah.
If you guys go watch Davidson's videos, you should have seen how he was built.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
that was muscle. Your muscles had muscles.
Yeah.
So
thank you. I hope to be back there by the summertime, but we'll see.
I'm sure you will. Yeah. With this great group of people. That's why there was a time we didn't want to post a video when we picked up weight because we felt so ashamed, and we thought, what's the people going to say? We're supposed to be on a weight loss journey. Now we picked up weight, and we decided, no, we're going to show it. And we actually hope somebody says, oh, you messed up. What are you doing? And okay, I hope they don't do that. I don't take criticism well. But we're not going to do that. Even if we don't have time, or if life happens and we can't do a video, we are going to put our weight in on a Friday, even if we picked up weight, because that's what this is all about. If we mess up, then we know we will get back on track, because this community is always there with kind words, support, motivation, advice. I mean, just from the two of you, we have learned so much over this last 2 months or so. Since we've started thinking, okay, now we need to take this thing serious. We need to get healthy and happy. And we've learned so much from a lot of channels. I mean, wow, there's people with amazing advice. And then there's people who mess up. They mess up all the time, and they just go on. They just say, I'm not going to give up just because I messed up.
Yeah, but at least you get advice. I mean, when we quit smoking,
nobody helped us.
You didn't know what to expect. I mean, you watch YouTube videos, but there's nobody really going in depth. Expect this is going to happen. We just went through it. We had the patches, and that helped. But like this, there's so many people that share their experience and help. It really helps a lot.
Yeah, it does help. And everybody's experience is different, but there's often something you can still learn from their experience, even if it's not the same as yours. And that's one of the reasons why, especially more recently, I've started to share more of, Davidson, what you said earlier, my crazy brain, like, what are people going to think if I say this out loud? And then everybody's like, oh, yeah, that's me. That's totally me, 110%. And the more of us that say, you know, and talk about it, and talk about mental health and the struggles that we have with that, talk about eating and the struggles that we have with that, I love this community. I think it's amazing, and I never expected it. I'm such an introvert. I'm here by myself in my apartment, and this is where I like it, right? But I love the community. I love getting to watch everybody, even the people who don't have channels that are just there to support. Like, it's amazing. And I'm so glad that I found all y'all. So, hey, everybody.
Yeah, we're so sorry we're not
all in
getting
the
to all the comments today.
Yeah, I see them all in the comments, and I'm just sitting here grinning at all y'all's comments, and I'm like, I want to talk to y'all so bad, but I'm trying to be good.
Yes. Me too. We're definitely going to get to all of you when we watch the replay and go read all the comments. Sorry that we, what do you say? I don't know what's the word, not getting to everybody. See, there comes the English that doesn't pop in my brain now. I can say it in Afrikaans, but we will get to you. And thank you, everybody, for being here. I just want to emphasize that how much you all mean to us. You are amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That is Tana. Okay, this is quickly something that I also wrote down. Sorry. See, Misty, I can't do everything out of my head like you. I need to write stuff down.
Oh, and Davidson as well. You speak and it just flows. I don't know how you guys do it. It's
like we watch a movie when we watch you guys. You don't struggle with anything. It's just smooth and it comes out, and I can't do that.
Well, you know, I've been a dentist for 16 years, and I have a captive audience. So all I do all day is talk, and they have to listen to me.
Okay, that
makes things pretty easy. I got lots of practice.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. For those of you who don't know, I'm a regional training manager for a call center. So literally my job is to talk to people all day long.
Okay, now that makes a lot of sense.
So the hardest thing for me is to edit myself because, well, I said what I said because I wanted to say it in that way, in that fashion, in that pacing. What am I going to edit? Because I love all y'all's edited videos. And sometimes I just feel like a windbag. I just say, I pick a topic and talk for 10 to 15 minutes and then stop the video. Some of it's helpful, hopefully, or at least gives you a giggle.
It is very, very helpful. No, I struggle, and then I start talking a bunch of nonsense, and you know where that ends up. But there was a thing that I found with this whole topic is 15 benefits of quitting sugar that I thought is very, very interesting. Okay, number 1 is you will overcome a serious addiction. And then that was another thing. It says your breath will be better if you quit sugar. What's that about? Is that asking a dentist now?
Oh, yeah.
I think that it's not necessarily your breath will be different. You can have bad breath because of all the carbohydrates that you're eating. That's what the bacteria on our teeth process and turn into byproduct, which is what causes the acid that destroys your teeth. So if you're not eating carbs, your teeth will be in much better shape, Your breath, not necessarily because of the ketones in your breath. So I kind of disagree with that one.
Into ketosis eventually.
Sorry?
Does that go away, the bad taste you've got in your mouth if you go into ketosis? How does that
Probably not. Probably not. But I mean, like I said, try if you're flossing twice a day and you're brushing your tongue, you're doing everything right. I don't think you'll really notice it.
Yeah, and it does get less as your body becomes fat adapted. It's using those ketones more than there being an excess of them. So it's not as bad, but I also live by myself and Barnum doesn't care. That's my dog. So I don't know if my breath stinks or not. But I feel like it's pretty good.
Okay. Number 3 is it says you will increase your brain power. I don't know what that's about. If there's any sense.
I think I'm more clear. I'm more clear with no sugar.
Agreed.
I get foggy-headed with sugar.
okay.
People talk about brain cloud. I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
When you're eating carbs constantly, and I do notice, I feel like I think and even talk if I need to talk better, but I feel like I think a lot quicker on my feet. I don't feel as clouded for sure.
Well, we saw that last night when we quit the sugar for a whole week, and last night with the Easter egg. I really, really felt bad. It wasn't nice. Okay, number 4. It says you will be less likely to get Alzheimer's disease. So I don't know what that is all about. This is now just stuff I got from the internet. So I don't know if it's true or not. I
It's a horrible disease to have. I sure hope I
Yeah.
never. I've even justified if I ever get it in my crazy brain, because Alzheimer's, you just kind of live your life forward and then you live your life backwards and then you die. So, but yeah, if it could help with that, hopefully I don't ever get that because I don't want to experience it. But if I do, show me Fight Club again and Star Wars if I forget. Okay.
G once said he hopes he never gets Alzheimer's disease because I would go and drop him off 2 blocks from our house and see how long it takes him to get home just for the kick off things.
You would. You probably would. Film it if you do.
I should. Okay. Number 5, it says your skin will look younger. I believe that. That sounds like a good thing.
I'm losing weight, so mine's getting saggy, so it's looking older. But maybe.
I saw this, on me too, now that I'm starting to lose, because I've lost 33 pounds up to now. And on my stomach, I'm starting to get a little bit of loose skin. And to myself, I look older. Around my eyes, I've got things because I think the fat puffed it out. So I feel like I look older since I've been losing weight. But
yeah, I do too.
Creams for
I
that.
don't care, but I do too. I
don't care either.
I don't care.
I can't really comment on it too much, but you could. I guess I do side by sides of my face every week, so you could look at my day one face versus my face now. I don't know. I know I have a lot of neck and chin.
Oh yeah, even though I'm still mostly neck, if you go back and watch some of my old videos, it was all neck. So that has drastically come down, and now it just flaps back at y'all. So hey.
That's a huge difference, Misty. I actually
it.
went to watch your first videos a while ago, and it's a huge difference.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Well, if he says I look old, I'll go drop him off 2 blocks. Okay, your heart will thank you. I think that's less chance of a heart attack, I'm sure. I think that's what, with losing weight. You will have less bad cholesterol. I think that, I don't know about, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know that.
Some people, when they first start keto, their cholesterol levels will change, but they say it normally evens out. And again, it's not for everybody to do it that way. So definitely go see a doctor, check your levels, and be under that advisement. You all know none of us are medical professionals. We're just out here on YouTube talking to y'all. Well, I mean, you're a dentist, but as far as
I'm a
you know what I mean?
Doctor.
Yeah,
You got a doctor in the house.
Yeah,
pretend doctor.
Okay, then it says you will have a much better mood, which I definitely believe, because the sugar, I think you crash of all the sugar. But a chocolate makes me happy.
I think the first 3 weeks I was miserable. I wouldn't want anyone to be around me those first 3 weeks. But after that, I feel great.
Okay.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah, see, that's why we're going to do it for 21 days. And we want to challenge everybody who wants to try this for 21 days, and then we'll see how it goes. I don't know. We're starting again tomorrow. We started again today, sort of. So it's 20 days to go. Okay, you will finally get a good sleep.
Which we did. That
I can vouch for, definitely. That helped. Then you will be less likely to have diabetes. I think that's true. Yeah. You will lower the risk of having pancreatic cancer. I don't know about that one.
Well, you're not blasting you're not blasting the beta receptor cells in your pancreas, your insulin receptors. So probably likely. I mean, I don't have enough of the data.
That's the problem. We need a doctor in the house. And then your eyesight will be sharper.
Oh, yes.
I've never heard of that one. I can't think, because I'm blind as a bat. I wear contacts. I can't see anything. So I will tell you after 21 days if I can see better.
I've always had really good vision. I have better than normal vision, so it's even better than 20/20, even at my age. So I've just been really lucky there. So I can't speak to that one.
Gee, see, you do have superpowers. I knew it.
Yeah, except for this one's always matted shut, so I can't really see out of it. But there's that. But the vision in that.
This one makes sense. You will lose weight fast.
Yeah. Now that worked for us. We lost weight in a week.
In a week when we stopped the sugar. That's definitely a fact. You will see your doctor less often because obviously you're getting more healthy. And then the last one, you will save a lot of money. I first thought when I saw that one, no, you don't, because all these diet things are so much more expensive. I found that eating healthy is more expensive. But then I read up a bit more on that, and it said, no, it's because you will see the doctor less often, you will see the dentist less often, you will save money in that way. So
I'd like to comment on that, actually. In the Discord, Andy, who I think is in the chat, I saw him at some point. I don't know if he's still here. Hey, Andy, what's up? He mentioned that he has been saving a ton of money. He said he was spending, I don't want to misquote him, but I'm pretty sure he said, he can clarify if he's in here, $250 a week on food, and now he's down to 90. So one thing I'll say is, like, the goal isn't necessarily to buy a lot of diet food or like light food, that kind of stuff. Just try to buy real food that fits into what you're doing. It's the best way to do it. And real food is cheap. Or I mean, cheap compared to a lot of the junk they put out there. Yeah, there you go. There's Andy in the chat. Not eating out.
We had to budget for our binge day. Or not our binge day. It was a binge day. Our cheat day. It was bad. We actually put money away so we had enough to buy stuff for our cheat day.
Yeah,
and then we messed up everything. It's terrible. I feel ashamed, really ashamed to say it out loud. But like I said, this is our AA meeting. We need to
I'm sure we've all done it. It's like you're saving up for a food vacation. It's like our whole life is revolving around like what we're going to eat. We're making a big thing out of it. It's like, it's counterintuitive kind of, but we've all done it. I'm sure we've all done it.
Oh, it's scary. And then the scale. I had an obsession with the scale. The scale is almost as bad as the addiction to the sugar. I would get undressed, then my evening started. I go into the room, then I've got all my clothes on, then I get on the scale. Then I'm like 2 pounds heavier than I was this morning. Then I take off all my clothes. Then I get on it again. Then I go take a bath, and maybe just in case I washed off some of the fat, then I get on the scale again. And it got so bad, he hid it from me. I'm not allowed to get on the scale. I'm allowed to, on our weigh day on a Friday morning, he takes out the scale now, and I'm allowed to get on it. I had a big obsession with that. It was bad. But that's my OCD. You guys all know about that. It was a big problem.
Yeah, I didn't have an obsession with weighing often. I just got obsessed with that goal number. And like you were saying earlier, Davidson, I don't have a goal number. I just talked about that recently. I don't know what my goal number is because I've never done this before, and I don't know where my body will feel best. But that's what I'm waiting for. And once I get there, then I'll be, maybe I'm at goal. And then what will I do different? Nothing.
You sound like you've figured out so much about yourself and your body, and you're doing everything right.
In the last year, I have spent a lot of time with myself in quarantine. Yes. Absolutely. And to go back to what y'all were talking about, it being more expensive, less expensive. Another thing to know, if you eat this way, a lot of times you're going to need to learn how to make your own food. This about Misty, your pal Misty ate every fast food restaurant. On the street that I live, there's about 30 in the 5 minutes it would take me to get home to work. And I would just pick a new one every day, one for lunch, one for dinner, sometimes one for breakfast. Sometimes I'd buy breakfast and then eat it throughout the day. Like, that gets very expensive. And I was like, keto's going to be so expensive. It's in the quarantine. I'm using Amazon Fresh. It's more expensive that way. And then was still saving hundreds of dollars a month because I wasn't eating out. But I had to learn to cook. So, I mean, I have the most interesting meals, but, they work.
You do, Misty. You made us see and decide that we want to, as soon as we get our own place, do the keto thing, because the things you make looks delicious.
It looks delicious, yeah.
We followed a few keto channels, and wow, they make amazing things.
Yeah.
And
You can
things
have
that I
steak and asparagus. What's not good about that? Come on.
I always call asparagus pornographic vegetables. I just can't eat it.
Okay, broccoli, steak and broccoli then. How's it? Little trees, eat little trees.
No, but the chaffles you make. Wow, I want to try that. I actually looked on Amazon for a chaffle maker. I want to make it. It looks delicious.
I love it. But again, it's part of that I'm addicted to bread, and this is a substitute that I can have that doesn't have the gluten in it. And there's 100 ways you can make it. You can put pickles in it. You can put onions in it. You can make a bacon, egg, and cheese truffle. There's literally thousands of recipes out there. And I've done egg fasts, and part of it was just egg and cheese, which is a basic truffle. For those of you who don't know what a truffle is, it's a weird word. If you've never heard it, I now realize it's basically just a combination of egg and cheese that you use in a mini waffle maker. And the keto community calls it a truffle. It's a cheese waffle.
Delicious.
It's delicious. Even my non-keto family likes truffles.
I would eat that.
Debbie talked about chocolate, and I saw dark chocolate. They say you can eat that. It doesn't have sugar in.
Or less sugar.
Or less sugar in. Is it healthier to eat dark chocolate, or should you stay away from that as well?
Dark chocolate?
Yeah.
You mean without sugar in it? I mean, I don't know. I've never really thought about it. I personally, like we were talking a little bit before about like trigger foods, and everyone's trigger foods are a bit different. So for me, my lizard brain's horrible. It'll say, you're already eating chocolate. Just go ahead, man. You're fine. You're fine. No, you've already screwed up. And I think for me, it would be bad. I call those like things that aren't necessarily like a regular trigger. It's like a gateway drug for me, kind of. It's like, I know I would slide as soon as I did that. It would be bad. Be like, you already had this chocolate. Go get yourself some real chocolate now.
That's what we did with the gluten-free chips. We saw in a shop near us, they've got gluten-free chips. And then we ate a bunch of that gluten-free chips. And then I scanned it on my fitness pal, and I saw, this has got more calories in than the normal chips.
Yes,
and
it did.
Yeah, they make you pour it somewhere. Yeah.
Just because it says light or gluten-free or diet doesn't always mean it is that. Since we started reading labels, that's important. Read labels.
Yeah, reading labels is key, especially if you're looking for sugar, because there are sugar in things you would have never imagined. My mom actually wanted me to try these crackers, which I did a few weeks ago, and then I had to say on the channel, these are pretty high carb. And she was like, but they're an almond cracker. Isn't almond low carb? Yeah, but there's other stuff in there. So you have to read the labels, or get you a cauliflower pizza, right? A pizza crust. It's cauliflower. It has to be good it'll have 50 carbs in it.
Yes.
That's carbs for 3 days for me, right? So yeah, reading labels is very important as you're starting to learn to do this. And that's why a lot of people cook from home, because you know what you're cooking and you know what's in those ingredients, and it makes it easier to manage and for me maintain and keep going with it.
Something interesting I read. It said, learn all the names sugar is called.
Yeah.
I was amazed of all the names sugar. I thought sugar is sugar. And then, oh my goodness, and glucose. I knew glucose and sugar and syrup. Those three things, okay, that's sugar. And then there's so many names they put on the labels. So
and they say toes.
Leave that. Don't eat anything that ends with toes.
Well, what I've always heard is if it rhymes with gross, don't eat it.
That makes so much sense.
But I'm not going to lie. I like sucralose as a sweetener, and I do drink products that have sucralose in it. So that's one that I do. But yeah, there are some that are hidden, like maltitol actually spikes your blood sugar more than sugar does. And it's in a lot of candies because it is considered a low carb treat. So if you're doing it for being a diabetic or something, you really need to watch, because you're more worried about your sugar spikes than someone who's just doing it for the low carb reason. So yeah, there's a lot out there, and they hide sugar in a lot of clever ways to trick you into thinking it's just sugar, or it's not sugar, rather, I should say.
Yeah.
That's really scary.
They said the average body can only handle 7 teaspoons of sugar a day.
Yes.
And in most people in America,
Everywhere.
yeah, but the statistics you saw, they eat about between
20 to
and
30
teaspoons of
teaspoons a
sugar a
day.
day, every day. That's a lot.
They get us when we're young, right?
Sorry? Just say again, Davison.
Oh, they get us when we're young. Like they constantly advertise to kids and they're, pumping kids full of sugar. Even like, Flintstone vitamins have sugar in them. Everything, vitamins with sugar. It's pretty tough. The way that it is now, like they're just constantly pushing sugar on us and everything. So it's like a lifestyle. It's at least in the Western diet, it's everywhere.
No, that's also a fact we saw. It says sugar is 8 times more addictive than cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've heard that.
And we are proof of it. You just can't stop.
Yeah, I believe it. Don't get me wrong, but I just like, how do they know?
I've
how
never
do they
tried
get that? That's like my favorite statistic is that 41% of statistics are made up.
Yeah,
that's true. Yes, and that's why it's so nice to connect with real people. Because now we are new to this. Now I go read all of these things because we want to try and cut out sugar. Now I go read all these facts and it scares me. I don't even want to drink water because maybe there's sugar hidden in there somewhere.
Don't be scared.
But now you talk to real people and you get real opinions and you get real results. And that's why this community is so important. We learn so much because I've got, look at this, all my things that I wrote down and facts I got, and half of them is not true. So you try and follow and do things right because the internet said this and this guy said this, and I actually tend to believe things until somebody tells me, until I speak to a real person, then it's so much better. So that's why this is so important, I think.
Yeah.
I should stop believing everything I read.
Well, I think that all of you guys share stuff about yourselves, and even if they're anecdotes, they're so important because it doesn't get out there enough. These are hard things to talk about. Like you've all said, Misty, you said it too. You didn't know if people, you never know if someone wants to hear what you have to say. And it's hard, embarrassing stuff to talk about because we don't think anyone else is going through it. But the more you talk to people, you see that we're all going through the same kind of thing. And I think it's important for us, each of us, to get the message out so that other people know that we're here and that there is support and that this is not an unusual thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say hi, Valerie. We are going to have a birthday bash. Me and Val shares the same birthday next week, Saturday. So on her channel, we're going to do a birthday celebration. So I hope you guys can join. It's going to be fun. It will be us, Derek's Journey, Victoria Sequence, and then Valerie from Homework at Alpha. It's just going to be a fun. We're not going to talk about sugar or diets or anything. We're just going to have a lot of fun there. So I hope you guys can join.
Yeah, that's exciting. I'll join.
Yeah, but Misty, you must join all the live. I don't know how you're going to split yourself between all of us because everybody always wants a piece of you.
I try to join as many lives as I can so I can, dip my toe in. So do my own one day. You're very persuasive.
And if you guys haven't joined the Facebook group yet, please do. There's a link in the description as well. It's also a bunch of nice people there. I know, Davidson, you said you're not on Facebook.
I deleted all my social media like 2 years ago. At the time, it was like the best thing I ever did in my life. But I'll set something up. I will. I just have to get around to it. I set up a Twitter, but I haven't used it. I think I might have added you guys actually like a week or two ago, maybe, or followed you guys, and that's it. I haven't used it at all, but I need to get more savvy with all that stuff.
Now, I don't know how Twitter works at all. We've got a Twitter page, and I just go post everybody's videos there, and I go share stuff there, but I don't know how it works either. Twitter is complicated.
I've got no idea. Twitter and Facebook. Yeah. There's so many times I wish I can delete Facebook, but a lot of the stuff I do involves Facebook, so we need it. But
Yeah.
so many
My
negative
family's on
comments.
Facebook. That's why I'm still there. Twitter's more for fandoms, I think. Like they're more for groups of people. So I don't really get into Twitter that much either. I know you're a TikTok fan, G. I can't quite get into that one yet either. But yeah, Facebook is my primary one outside of YouTube, of course. But mainly because that's where my family is. So, but I love y'all's creators page. If y'all don't join, y'all should, because it's a lot of fun over there. They'll post motivational quotes and just funny stuff for you to read. So, and share your page so we can all follow along with your journey.
Yeah, we all connected there, and even me, we started the page. I found some new people on our own page that I didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't follow them, and now we follow. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And
It is awesome.
everybody's got their own piece of wisdom, and
Instagram. So many people use
I don't
Instagram
know,
now, and
but
we struggle with Instagram. We did grow since we started using Instagram. I'm not sure how it works yet, 100%, but everybody's on Instagram.
yeah, that's the new YouTube. I think that's the cool kids are there, but
Yeah,
we try to put our foot in there, but it doesn't work.
I think you'll do very well. Your pictures are beautiful on Instagram. I love them. I do not get Instagram. I'm old, guys. That doesn't make sense to me. But someone had mentioned that maybe I should do like I don't know what they call it, but where you do the video part of Instagram, but like it's shorter or whatever. I don't think I can limit myself to a minute. Y'all have met me. Well, most of you met me. So yeah, but it is a nice way to engage with people, and I like following people on Instagram, and I'll comment on your posts and I like your posts, but don't hope to see a Misty post because you probably won't. It's a little bit tricky. I'm learning.
We'll get there. Yeah, but the kids nowadays, our kids are all grown up. I mean, my daughter is 19. G's son is 21 this year. Oh gosh, we're old. And the kids nowadays, my sister-in-law's son is 4 years old. You should see him on the tablet. It's like swipes and up and down. And one of these days I'm going to ask him how things are working. And he's 4 years old. I can't believe it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they grow up with it. I remember when
my first phone when I was 16 years old. I mean, now the kids are 2 and they've got a phone.
She got a phone when she was 16 years old. I was working. I was like 25, I think, when I got my first phone.
But in South Africa, I don't think we got it. I think you guys in America got phones and all that a bit faster than us.
The technology.
In my group, I didn't get a phone until I was in college. And I remember the first time someone explained text messaging to me. And I thought that was the most ridiculous thing ever. Why would I ever just send you a message when I can call you? And now please don't call me. Just send me a text. So yeah, the technology I remember the first color phone that I got. And I was like, look at me fancy with colors on my phone. Yeah. And now my niece, when she was 3, my mom came out of the restroom and she's like, what is she doing? I'm like, she's Google searching for her video she wants to watch. And my mom's like, you can do that on a phone? Yeah, they know the technology so well. It's impressive. So I'm trying to learn from those people to get a little bit better with it. I'm going to have my niece teach me some stuff.
We'll just get the kids to teach us everything. Yeah. Okay,
They're
guys,
smart.
I think we should start wrapping this up. How long? We went that long. We went even an hour and a half. So we're getting there. But I think this is starting to become long now. And I don't know. Have you got anything to add on this whole sugar topic before we wrap it up?
The one thing that I say on sugar is if you want to give it a try because it may work, but you have to really give it a try. Like he said, at least 21 days. If you're going to try it for a couple of days, you're going to feel miserable and you're probably going to quit and then you're going to say it didn't work. So it also doesn't work for everyone. So don't feel like you have to try it. But if you do, give it a good solid go would be my best tip.
Okay.
Great advice.
Well, I hope we see you all on this Discord group so we can share what happened and how we're doing on there. And I'm sure on all of our channels we'll tell you too. But I'm sure I really, really want to encourage you guys to go join this Discord group. It's like I said, AA for addicts, sugar addicts. It's really a good group.
Thank you, guys.
I'll go check it out for sure.
And I would just say, if you are going to do this, remember, failure is normal. Messing up, we're addicts, we're human. Everyone makes mistakes. I'm probably going to fail at some time. Everyone does. And you can't beat yourself up for it. And one thing I appreciate about Nicky and G is they're very honest. If they make a mistake, they talk about it. And that's what we want to hear. We want to know that you guys are human like the rest of us. We've all gone through a lot of the same things. It's just make sure that if you do mess up, don't beat yourself up for it and get up and try again. Especially with the no sugar thing. It is very hard. It's not the easy path. It's not an easy thing to do. But if you don't do it the first time or the second or the third or the fourth or the fifth, don't give up, because once you get on track, it's a great feeling. And I think that you'll be very happy you did it. The only other thing I'll add is don't try to do too much in that month. Your only goal is to sever your link to sugar, and that's it. Nothing else matters. Get lots of sleep, drink lots of water. I wouldn't even try to work out in that first month. I really wouldn't. I would just try to get off the sugar, take good care of yourself so that you can.
There's something I quickly want to ask that I'm not sure about with this whole sugar thing now. Does this quitting sugar, like it said, cold turkey, is that just sugar you see? Let's see, it's not fruit sugar and in real food. How does this work? I'm not 100%.
So this is going to depend on you and what you can handle. For me, I do eliminate, at least in the first month, I eliminate fruit. It doesn't mean you have to get rid of fruit forever, but I would get the sugar out of my system first, and then you can gradually, if you want to add fruit in and you can handle it, great. For me, I'm pretty strict. I stick to less than 25 grams of carbs a day because that works for me. So I do have a little bit of fruit in a green drink. I do a keto green drink. It's got a little bit of fruit, not much. But I'm very careful about what I eat. And in the beginning, I would just try to get rid of all of it so it gets out of your system and you see how you feel. And then you can sort of figure out. I failed a lot to figure out what works for me. But I don't want to tell you that you have to get rid of everything and it's the only way to do it. You're going to be different than me. Another person's going to be different than us. So, I just want to get you to a point where you can manage this thing, and then you can kind of decide on your own what works best for you.
What you can handle and what not. Okay. No, I was a bit unsure about the fruit sugar because I've heard and read fruit contains a lot of sugar.
It does.
But I wouldn't check that sugar or bad sugar or how that works.
So
your body doesn't know.
Yeah. So Misty, you said you had trouble with fruit, like fruit triggers you eventually, right?
Yes, it does.
So some people it does. For me, I can have fruit. I'm okay with it. I haven't really added it back in at this point, but fruit doesn't. Bananas will. So if I have a banana, the banana can turn into the whole stack of bananas. I don't know why. They're just the most candy-like fruit, maybe. But banana's different than other fruit for me. But it doesn't mean it's like that for everyone. Could I have some grapes, which are actually really quite sweet? I could, and I don't think it really sets me off for whatever reason. But what sets me off is not going to be what sets Misty off for you guys. So it's really different for everyone. So you kind of have to figure that out the hard way, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody gave us the advice of freezing a banana and freezing grapes. Valerie from Home Workout Health Hub, she told us freeze grapes. Instead of sweets, eat the grapes. But in my head, I'm going to eat that grape and going to say, this is a sweetie, and then I'm going to eat a sweetie.
Right. Yeah, I totally
I know
that.
I'm going to do that. But a banana as well. I'll eat the ice cream after that. I'll eat that frozen banana, and then I'll want to eat the ice cream. So I know it's going to trigger me.
Or I'll dump a whole bunch of peanut butter on that banana.
Yeah, bananas are delicious, but that would trigger me too. So yeah, you just have to learn what those triggers are so that if I do this, then I'm gonna just slide right down. So yeah, finding the triggers is the hardest part. But once you get a pretty good handle on what will trigger that, it becomes a little bit easier. It's never easy. It's always work, but you're willing to put in the work.
Okay. I'll see. Always good advice. Okay, guys, we need to wrap this up now. Davidson and Misty, we want to thank you so much for being our guests tonight. This was so much fun, and it was like having you in our house. This was really, really, really nice.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you guys
appreciate
for having us, really. And thank you, Misty. That was great advice. And thank you, everyone who listened to me rant over the course of that.
No, I appreciate it. Go ahead.
No, I just want to thank everybody who was in the chat as well before I forget that. And I promise you, we will watch this on replay and we will read every single comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're coming up on an hour and a half, so Nikki has to close it down, everybody. But yeah, I'm so glad y'all got to join. It was good to see everybody in the chat. And it was nice to meet you, Davidson. I'll be on that Discord for sure.
Same, and I'm going to be on your channel tonight.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks so much, guys.
Bye.
Appreciate it.
Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.